a ball is dropped from a tower. After t seconds, the ball has fallen a distance of x meters. Now, x is directly proportional to t squared. What that implies, or this can be translated to an equation. So x will be equal to kt squared. Now, what we need to do is to find an equation connecting x and t. So the first thing is to substitute these points here. So in place of x, we have 19.6. In place of t, we have 2. And then you just solve for k. So 19.6 will be equal to 4k. So k will be equal to 19.6 divided by 4. And k will be equal to 4.9. And then we want an equation. And basically an equation means that we want this, but with a known value of k. So basically you plug in the value of k, so x will be equal to 4.9 t squared, and that will be the required equation. So x is equal to 4.9 t squared. And then the next part of this question is find the value of x when t is equals to 3. So from this formula, we know that x will be equal to 4.9 multiplied by t squared, and t is 3, so 3 squared. And that will give us 4.9 multiplied by 9, and that will be 44.1. So this will be 44.1. And then moving on, here we have how long that means that they want time. How long, find how long the ball takes to fall 10 meters. And this is distance. And if you look at the question previously, t represents time, yeah, and x represents distance. So we are basically solving for t, yeah, and 10 meters here represents the distance, which is x, not d. This is x. All right, so basically we want to find t when x is equals to 10. And to do that, we'll use this formula. So 10 will be equal to 4.9 multiplied by t squared. So, and to solve for t, you divide both sides by 4.9. So t squared will be 10 over 4.9, which implies that t will be equal to the square root of 10 over 4.9. And that will be equal to 1.43. So this will be equal to 1.43. So 1.43 seconds to 3 significant figures. Okay, next question. In number 2, we have the amount of petrol a car uses is directly proportional to the distance it travels. So a car uses 3 liters of petrol when it travels 50 kilometers. Work out the amount of petrol the car uses when it travels 125 kilometers. So what we can do here is let so which variables are we looking? We have the amount of petrol and we have the distance. Let the amount of petrol be P, and the distance traveled be D. So we have two variables here, P and D. And these are directly proportional. So we'll say P is equals to KD. And now we need to find the amount of the petrol. So to find the amount, we need to find the value of K. And we know that here, when P is equals to 3, D is equals to 50. So we can use these two conditions to be able to work out for the value of K by substituting these points in this equation. So we'll have 3 is equals to K multiplied by 50. So which means K will be 3 over 50. And the corresponding value of K will be, well, we can just leave it as 3 over 50. There's no point simplifying it. And then, so basically, the resulting equation here will be equal to P is equals to 3 over 50D. So that will be the required equation. But we want to find the amount of petrol when the car travels 125 kilometers. So we want to find the value of P when D is 125. So the corresponding value of P will be 3 over 50 multiplied by 125, which will be equal to 7.5. Okay, and then the second part of this question is work out the distance. So the distance here is D, yeah? So work out the distance the car travels when it uses 5.7 liters of petrol. So when P is equals to 5.7. So to do that, we'll just use the formula here. We know that P is equals to 3 over 50D. But here P is 5.7. 5.7 is equals to 3 over 50D. So basically, to find D here, we multiply these two. Yeah. So 5.7 multiplied by 50 will be equal to 3D. And then we divide by 3. So which implies that D will be equal to 5.7 multiplied by 50 divided by 3. And that will be equal to 95. So 95 kilometers. Number 3, M is directly proportional to P cubed. So we can translate that statement to an equation which will be M is equals to K P cubed. And then we have when M is 128, P is 3. So we can go ahead and say 128. So from here, 128 is equals to K multiplied by 8 cubed. So 128 will be equal to, or we can just solve for K here. So basically, K will be equal to the opposite of multiplying by 8 cubed is just dividing by 8 cubed. So you end up with that. So K, if you plug that in the calculator, you'll find that K will be equal to 0.25. So if K is equals to 0.25, it means that our formula will be M will be equal to 0.25 P cubed. So M is equals to 0.25 P cubed. And then find the value of M when P is equals to 5. So when P is equals to 5, M will be equal to, using this formula here, so 0.25 multiplied by 5 cubed, and that will be 31.25 if you plug it in the calculator. So that will be 31.25. All right. Number 4. So we have a particle moves from rest. The speed of the particle is v meters. per second when it has moved a distance of x meters. So, and we have this statement here, v is proportional to square root of x. So we can translate this to an equation. So v will be equal to k square root of x. Now we have these two conditions. So when v is equals to 8, x is equal to 25. So which means 8 is equals to k multiplied by 5. Um, and you can just divide by 5 to solve for k. So k will be equal to 1.6, which means that our equation will be v is equals to 1.6 square root of x. Um, so our equation here will be v is equals to 1.6 square root of x. All right, and then the next part is find the speed of the object when it has moved a distance of 56.25 meters. So find the speed of the object. The speed of the object is represented by v, and the distance here in the question is represented by x. So basically we are trying to find v when x is 56.25. So we can go ahead and say that v will be equal to 1.6 square root of 56.25. So v will be equal to, I mean, if you just plug that in the calculator, that will be 12 meters per second. Um, and that will be your final answer.